Massimo is a fourth generation wine producer. He's based in Tuscany. They've been around since 1895. And I know that your motto is that you want a wine that bears your name, that must tell your story. So Massimo, I'll let you take it away with telling what the story is of Sensi Winery.
Yeah, my story is, story of a family is quite long, and I'm honored to share with you tonight. We have under 30 years of history from my grandfather who started the winery till, his sons and his, grandchild, until the fourth generation, which I belong to. Along this history, the Sensi name has been grown as synonymous of affordable quality, synonymous of development of good wines in Tuscany, and not only, and especially we are linked to the consistency of our wines, and our wines are today distributed worldwide. So we are quite innovative. We're known to be quite innovative in the vineyards and in the packaging. So we have put all our energy to make our name sounding great when people open our bottles. So, it's very important for me to share with you how we work, and what kind of passion, what kind of effort we put when we do our wine, when we make our wines. And tonight, this morning for you, I'm open to also to share with you questions and answer. It will be a pleasure.
I'd love to just catch up with you about how life is in Italy for you all right now.
Well, we just received the beautiful news that we'll be locked down totally for Christmas. Wow. So we expect to stay home for a couple of weeks, drinking and eating, probably. And my side, listening some music or playing some games with my kids, and nothing else. And of course working, because I don't know why, when you're locked down, you work double. It shouldn't be, but that's what it happens. And so I'm asking you, if you want to, enjoy with me the lockdown, we make some other live tasting, so we can enjoy together.
Can you share with us some pasta making tips, maybe, too?
You hear that, Massimo? Catherine wants to know if you have any pasta making tips. Are you doing homemade pasta?
Oh yeah, well, my wife is from south of Italy, and traditionally the southern people are superb in the kitchen, and she's very good to make a trabaccolata. It's a several fishes cut thing, and then you use a very big handmade pasta, and then called mezze maniche. So if you can sign mezze maniche, the one really made by hand, and then you add the fish after the pasta boiled, very al dente, I recommend, and that would be a crazy recipe for your guests when you want. And I will match it with the 18K, definitely.
Oh. That was a nice transition. Okay, so we have the
Christmas
18K here.
You've
done this before.
Christmas recipe. I just discovered this.
So this obviously the bottle is beautiful, but the wine inside also delicious. It's 100% Glera from TREVISO. Prosecco.
Yeah, this is 100% Glera, so Prosecco DOC from Treviso area, and it is let's say a higher standard of Prosecco blend, because normally, people see the bottle, which is varnished by, painter, so artistic varnish. People say, oh, that's a nice bottle, but, they don't expect that the content is, more than, more good than the look. And that's what it happens normally. And that's why also this wine being very successful over the past 10 years in the world, and especially in the US, of course.
Yeah. And isn't it, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the #1 selling wine, Prosecco or wine, sparkling wine in Australia. Is that correct, Massimo?
Yeah, that's correct. You know, you're clever to remember this. It's a best-selling Prosecco in Australia and one of the top 15 Prosecco most requested in the world by drinks business. You can find online or you can see in our website. So absolutely a stunning bottle that is making our name, you know, famous in the world.
And one of the things that I have appreciated about you, Massimo, is you kind of do it all, you know, so you're very hands-on. You're hands-on with everything, and you like to work with small family importers. You like to keep everything small and very hands-on, and you have this big, massive business, but you're very approachable, and here you are, even with a tasting like this where you don't want a bunch of people, you just really want to connect with each person that tries your wine.
I think in wine, you know, I can say that, you know, the bottle, the wine, everything, it's important, but the personality of the producer and it's self-explaining about a lot of things that you know, you would need a book to write everything, you know? So maybe I will write a book later and you will help me to do this.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You wrote a book. I wrote a book.
I was going to say, that's Catherine and
write a
Joe.
book.
Julie,
We all write a book.
Okay, so we can make chapters, okay?
Yeah. Thanks for stealing my gig, you guys.
We also have to do extensive research in Tuscany.
Agreed.
Okay,
The only
fantastic.
way.
What is important is a good end, not that we don't like bad end.
Yeah.
A good ending. Yes.
Exactly. And so in terms of the packaging, did you come up with this idea, or how did you, because obviously it's beautiful, and it kind of with the end of 2020, I was like, yeah, that's just sort of a good wine to, you know, to say goodbye with. It's beautiful. It looks good. Let's just start over fresh. More fun in 2021. So how did you come up with the label or the whole
No,
package?
I was saying that, no, I can tell you that the idea with my wife, yeah, a lot of attention to the fashion. And, you know, I said to myself, we have no wine that it's really strictly related to the fashion attitude, especially from women's side. So I decided, well, let's create something and let's see what happens. And it happened that it became, you know, what it became. So very successful. And yeah, I mean, it's important to pay attention to the lifestyle and the habits of people every day, because a lot of people are looking for something new, exciting. And I must tell you that along this period of lockdown worldwide, I mean, a lot of people think sometimes negative. You know, buy a good bottle of wine, you can, you know, make your life not changing, but, you know, better.
Well, I was just looking at this label and the no preservatives mentioned there. Part of your philosophy?
Well, this is a different direction from the sparkling, of course. Here we have targeted to a philosophy of to health, because a lot of people are affected by sulfites. So I thought, you know, we need to make a good wine that can be, you know, suitable for the people that are suffering sulfites. And there are a lot of people that suffer sulfites and they have headaches, and they cannot, you know, share a good glass of wine in a table. So we thought, let's do it. But my knowledge said, Massimo, it's a big challenge, because a lot of people try it, but they failed because it's very difficult. So we put a lot of attention to the selection of the grape, and because you have to make it under temperature control, otherwise the protection, you don't have protection from sulfites. So you need to work with a temperature control from the grape picking until the bottling and also shipping. So the temperature control is fundamental for sulfite free. And you know, but it's a great wine and one of the most successful in the red, because it was so difficult to make it. We're happy about the results and the feedbacks.
And then Joe, you had a question.
I was just curious about the packaging for the Prosecco. and you mentioned it was painted. I just was curious
Yeah,
if there's more to the
it's
story.
painted by food grade. It is painted by food grade varnish. It's an artistic paint made by a laboratory in Venice. So every bottle is different. So it's really artistic,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, it's unique. Every bottle is unique. That's why we created this kind of ice looking, you know. So, and it's something that makes a wine particular, because every bottle you find is different, and it can be a unique gift also for Christmas, for example, or for Valentine's, or for any other occasion.
Or just because it's Tuesday and you're locked in your house.
I was gonna say,
Just any day in 2020.
I have a really unhealthy obsession with sparkling wine for, I don't know, for a couple years now. So it's sort of like, yay, it's a party. Just open up a bottle. Yay.
Every time I see your Instagram, you're with a glass of champagne and now by the pool. Like, wow.
Being really
okay.
bad, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm going to stay away from the addiction category.
I'm the only one that I don't go to the pool. Everybody else go to the pool. I mean, I'm too busy for other things, but it's okay. I mean, once a year.
Massimo,
I'll make a selfie next time. I'll make a selfie with a bottle.
will you make a Prosecco rosé? I know you all, like, Italy has been approved to make rosé Prosecco. Will you one
Julia, that's a good question. We just released Rosé Prosecco, and we're going to launch in US, I think in February, because Prosecco Rosé has a longer lead time, because it needs a couple of months, 70 days exactly to be ready after fermentation. And so it takes a little longer, but you know, it's definitely a good addition to the 18K range. And we look forward to launch in the US. Everybody's waiting and is waiting for it. And you'll have the first bottles, you know. So I'll let you try it as soon as possible. Please.
So will it be rose gold paint instead of gold?
The packaging, Massimo, will it be rose gold?
Yeah.
Will it be
Rose gold.
the bottle?
Oh, will be rose, yes, of course, and but the label will be slightly different, with a big R, made like the wine that goes in the label. So it will be a surprise, you know, a surprise for you. I'll send you the bottle. Don't worry, it will come. Be clever, be good for Christmas, and Santa Claus will bring you a bottle.
We've been very good this year, haven't we all?
I know.
Yes.
Even my kids always tell me, what do you buy for me? Because I've been very good, locked it in. So I say, okay.
Yeah.
And I have another question. It's also about the packaging for the one with the paper and the bowl, like the straw.
The Vigante.
What made you?
Oh, the Vigante. Yes,
what
yes,
made
please.
you decide to wrap those in paper as packaging?
Oh, for different reasons. One is to protect the wine from the light, because both wines, the Ninfato and the Vigante, are very delicate wine. One because it doesn't have sulfites, the other because it's a vegan, which is not filtered. And the other reason is to show people that we do these wines artisanally. We do this wine with our hands. We do this wine really in the, you know, in the, like handmade pasta, you know, like something that you do with your hands, with the old principle of winemaking. And you know, this packaging shows very clear, because the wine says, I'm vegan. So it talk to you. And vegan means, you know, you don't use part of animal for clarification, or part of eggs, you know, for this process. And it's not filtered, and but it's suitable also for with meat. I mean, we did this because we want to pay attention to this philosophy, but you can have with meat. I mean, it's not forbidden.
It's a little bit ironic, though, isn't it? If someone's
No,
drinking the vegan wine with the big old steak.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little bit ironic.
I would do that.
And then might be a good time to ask about your commitment to organic and sustainability moving forward, and just in general, Massimo.
we made our decision a few years ago to move ahead to the organic growing system, and we turned our estate 65 hectares into organic. Has been a great work because you know, you have to change everything. You have to be more reactive when you go in the vineyards. When it rains, you have to be reactive with the copper. Every time we had to buy more tractors, more technology, but at the end has been great because now the trend of organic is growing, and we really believe that the world it has to move to this kind of situation, because I mean we really have to respect the nature. I mean, what's happening now is probably a reaction. I'm not an expert. It's probably a reaction of something. So I believe that the young generation, I can see, you know, the new kids, they are open ears. They have open ears for this, and they are talked at the school about organic, about sustainability. So I think we made a wonderful job, but it's just the beginning. But we're coming out with more wines in the next months. We really focus on local grapes. We want to keep not only sustainability, but we want to also develop, let's say, rediscover the local grapes from the past, because you know, in Tuscany and in Italy especially, we have a lot of micro grapes that are lost, and we want to rediscover them.
And then, so let's talk about Bulgheri, the second wine, and the land, and the beautiful, the beautiful territory where it is produced, and the wine that we're tasting.
Yeah, the SABBIATO. Okay, Bulgheri is really a wine that I love because first of all, it's produced close to the seaside, and that's, you know, I like the seaside. I would like to live there because I like the air, I like the water and everything. So Bulgheri is a particular land because it has the seaside and the sand in the soil, but also mountains on the, you know, behind. So the microclimate for Bulgheri is very dry because of the wind from the sea, and this allows the grapes to be healthy and produce a spectacular Cabernet. So Bulgheri is known worldwide for Cabernet, and the Bulgheri blend is normally done, made by producers in different ways. There's a classic ways, which is Cabernet and Cabernet Franc, and there's the modern way that we follow, which is a blend of Cabernet with some Merlot and some Sangiovese a little bit, so to make something more drinkable and approachable. And well, the SABBIATO is one of our greatest results in our history, and the Consorzio Bulgheri also called us to be part of the Consorzio ad honorem, thanks to the promotion we're doing worldwide, because Bulgheri is famous, but most of the producers are very small. If you don't consider, I mean, the famous Tignanello or Sassicaia, but you know, the rest are small producers that they don't have, I mean, possibility to travel too much with the Bulgheri. So we're doing a lot of promotion worldwide. For example, this wine is in business class of Singapore Airlines for all the world, just to give you an highlight. So it's something that it's one of the flagship in our range.
Does anyone have any questions for Massimo on the Bulgheri?
Well, if you think about matching the wine, that's of course meat, but can be also, you know, if you take a fish and you grill the fish with some, you know, tomato, or you reach the dressing, you make the dressing a bit rich with more, you know, flavors. Oh, the Bulgheri can, you know, can find a good matching sometimes, especially this blend.
How many bottles do you produce of that one?
Well, we produce about 80,000 bottles of Bulgari per year. So we are after the great names like Sassicaia, Tignanello, Ornellaia. We are, you know, one of the, you know, most biggest producer, you know.
What does sabbiato mean?
Sabbiato in Italian language, sabbia is sand. So means that coming from the soil with sand, which is a characteristic that gives to the wine a minerality and the particular also salty, light salty back taste in the end. So, you know, it's a really a wonderful land, Bulgari, and you know, I'm in love with it, and you know, every weekend I can, not now, but you know, I can jump there and have a nice wild boar pasta with the Bulgari.
Golly.
That's the best.
Why do I always get so hungry with these Italian producers? It's just, we need food to go with this.
Yeah, unfortunately. You know what? Somebody invited me to a web dinner. You know, I said, what do you mean? I said, we together. And we watch each other while we eat the same dish delivered by the same restaurant. I said that you know, I miss that, you know. That's my next. No, I didn't, because I mean it's too complicated for me. I like to sit down with people at the same table and make jokes and you know. Eating, I never did, but maybe, you know, we never know.
It depends on how long this is going to go on for, right? We'll all meet back here next Christmas and have dinner together. Oh, no.
Not but Massimo. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Please.
So
sorry.
I noticed that in the 2017 vintage of the wines that you sent, the alcohols are 15%, but in the 2018 they're 13 and 14%. Was that a choice? Was that because you could ripen it, you had good weather? You know, for me, 15% from Tuscany is pretty high.
Well, I must tell you that in the recent years, the alcohol has grown. I mean, rose because of the heat increased a lot during the summer, and we had a very small rain, and that it's becoming a problem because. You know, it's good to have more alcohol sometimes if the alcohol is balanced with the structure, with the you know, flavors and all the components of the taste. But when it's just alcohol, and especially when the grape are suffering the dryness, it's not good. So, for example, there are some vintages that they are really, you know, suffering. This, and you know, it's becoming more common. I remember when I was a kid, I mean, we had 11.5 for a Chianti. Now we have a Chianti 14.5.
Right.
So it's that sometimes it's not manageable because people say, hey, do you have something lighter? Especially in Italy, because we drink every day. So yeah, but that's a problem for climate change. And for this reason, we're joining the University of Florence to create a deep study trying to understand how we can manage this. Oh, that's another university.
Oh, that's
University
different.
of.
Okay.
That's another project on the Governo. The Governo is,
okay.
you know, made of dry grapes. Part of the grapes are dried, and then they are pressed. And then the moist is added to the first moist to create a second fermentation, which gives more freshness and body to the wine. So this project has been developed with the University of Tuscia in Viterbo. It's a famous university in Governato because in which means government. So people say, is that a wine for the government? No, it's not a wine for the government. We don't want to give them bottle of wine. It's a governo. It means feed. So when you feed the baby, you say, I governo my kid. So that's a local language.
Wonderful. And you can see by all the wines that everyone got sent a bunch of different wines, and we picked 3 because you have so many wines, Massimo, that it becomes, you know, so, but I'm glad that I know Joe asked me in an email about, you know, some of the other ones, and I was thinking, I don't even know what Joe got, but imagine you got a bunch of different stuff because you guys do a bunch of wines.
You know, time by time, we will try to taste everything. The fact is that we like to develop. Now we're coming out in March with the Ciliegiolo, 100% organic.
Oh, fun.
So Ciliegiolo is a cherry grape because it has a really cherry taste. And I'm a fanatic of Ciliegiolo, and we're coming out in March, and I'll be glad to send to you guys a couple of bottles, because that would be, you know, my pleasure to share with you a glass. So, I mean, yeah, I have a lot of wines, but, you know, because I like to try and to experiment different things, different ways.
I want to talk about the Mantello, because we have never talked about this wine before. Am I even saying it right?
Mantello. Mantello, it's one of the first super Tuscan we made. Sangiovese is 70%, 30% Shiraz. And it's a wine that means, Mantello means coat of stars, you know? So coat because it's warm, it's velvety, it's deep color, and it's, again, it's one you can see on the label a lot of awards. We every year we won awards with this wine. It's really a wine that it's, you know, blending the Shiraz gives a character to the Sangiovese. You know, the Sangiovese it's quite acid for super Tuscan. So we blend with Shiraz, and the Shiraz gives more spiciness, more body, and makes the flavor of the taste complex and more interesting.
Local pairings or any sort of holiday traditions or anything? What do you have on the horizon?
Okay, we have a lot of things. My wife is very clever to make a meat roll, a big meat roll, you know.
Rossol?
We call it roast beef. You know roast beef?
Roast beef. Oh.
Yeah, okay. So the roast beef is a classic in my house because, you know, my wife, she can do very good. I mean, I can say, you know, I have to say that she's good anyway. But you know, that's and then the steak. You know, in Tuscany we have a big tradition of the chop steak with a big bone, and you know, we cannot miss that for Christmas. So this kind of reds like Bolgheri or Mantello are wonderful with the steak. And then sometimes we do spiedini. I don't remember the English meaning, the English translation of spiedini. You know,
spiedini.
When you
like a kebab.
Like when you take the knife and you put into the piece of meat.
Yes, like a skewer, like a kebab.
Exactly, meat and bread together on the fire, and you roll them. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna have a good lunch today. I can see it.
It's just so fun, you know, to learn about what different traditions and cultures and what people are doing. I mean, we can't travel, so I mean, this is what I love about wine, is just this idea that you're connecting through culture and different experiences. So to hear about what you eat and the meals that you make at home with your wife and family is wonderful. At least for me, yeah, I love hearing about it. So, yeah, and in terms of, do you guys have any questions for about the wines or for Massimo?
I'll look at your website, but I'd love to see a picture of your winery, so I can do that afterwards. But are you all kind of estate grown? Are you all or are you sourcing some fruit from other growers?
Well, we have a nice estate which is a kind of a chateau. You can see maybe on YouTube. If you go in YouTube, You can see also a video about our estate.
Okay,
So
I'll check it out.
definitely we have Fattoria di Calapiano is our main estate with 65 hectares, and it's exactly. Oh, that's a from there. That's a flagship from there. It's a Sangiovese 100% made by 10 years selection of clones of name of the property, and Colle Gonzi is the real piece of land where the wine is produced. So you can see on YouTube everything about Calapiano. And then, yes, answering to your question, we source also from local growers because, of course, we need more wine. But we source all wine and grapes selected by us with the same concept of winemaking. So they follow our guidelines. We give them guidelines and they grow their vineyards with the same guidelines we do in our own. Of course, our Calapiano is organic, and there we do, let's say, the most innovative wines.
Fantastic. And what's next, Massimo? How do you look forward to 2021 and maybe learn from what happened this year, or maybe some silver linings from this year that'll push you forward to next year?
A lot of people have discovered wine from scratch. So I think it will be an exciting 2021. You know, hopefully with the vaccine, but I think the wine will accompany everybody in the 2001, and I think we need to be closer this way. You know, having a glass of wine together, we're a little bit distant now, but we'll be closer. I'm confident. So, you know, let's be confident and let's drink good wine.
Cheers. Yeah, and my motto is more fun in 2021. So that's going to be my sort of just going to use that for the whole year and hope something good comes out of it. We had much fun for a long time around here.
Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy Sensi Wines.
Hopefully one day together in Tuscany. This is my dream. This is what I keep telling everybody, Massimo.
Please.
Yeah, you're invited. You're all invited.